Hello everyone, Boltsauce here once again, and welcome back to a deck review. This is West Germany. I already had a video of this up, but due to some sound difficulties, some technical sound difficulties, I had to redo it, but it's no problem at all for me. Anyway, West Germany. It's a really nice balanced deck in my opinion. I would probably use this in 1v1s, but only in small towns. And if I was gonna do it 1v1, I would probably swap like the Power Milans out for some more Panzer Grenadiers in like M113s or something. But we'll go straight into that in a second. First off, the logistics. Basically, my basic loadout here. I'll actually make it a bit easier. There we go. In terms of selection, so a fob, and then 2 cards of supplies, a Jupiter, and the CH-53G. Then for a command vehicle we have the Fuchs Fufu, or the Fufu to be exact, and then we have the Führungsgruppe in the Dornier 205. Then the infantry section. The infantry of West Germany is just amazing. We have a lot of choices. You can go for Deckungsgruppe, Fallschirmjägers, normal Jägers, Panzer Grenadiers, Power Milans, and Manpad. So that's a really nice selection there. You basically have everything. But yeah, we went for the Fallschirmjäger or Jaeger 90 in the CH-53G, and this is something interesting. If I was going to play on a single, like in a 1v1, on a small map, I would probably go for the Dornier 205s, and the reason for this is because the Dornier 205, it is slower, but it lands quick. Alright, it does not need like half an hour to land, or just, you know, slow down. Actually, this thing goes 330 kilometers or 320 kilometers per hour, and it just needs like 20 seconds to slow down basically, and then it needs to land somewhere where it can fit. So that takes a huge amount of time. So I would recommend using the CH-53G on bigger maps and the Dornier 205 on smaller maps. And I actually went for elite training, but I'm actually going to go for veteran train. Oh, okay, that's another big difference there. If you go for the CH-53Gs, you can get 7 on veteran. If you go for the Dornier 205s, you can get 10 on veteran. So that's a huge difference. I'm actually going to go for the Dornier 205s. And if I was going to play in a huge map, I would just take a flank or something, because those extra 3 guys might save your life. But then again, the downside to the Dornier is that it has like 4 strength, and you know, compared to the CH-53G, that's just nothing. This thing has 10 strength, so it will survive like 3 weak AA missiles, but this thing will probably go down from a single shot. So yeah, just, you know, depends on what kind of map you're playing, where you're planning to go. If you're going to like the busiest places on a big map, go for this one. If you're going for the flanks or something on smaller scale games, go for the Dorniers. But yeah, for now we're just gonna keep it on 10 veteran Fallschirmjäger 90s and Dorniers. Then, as for our backup infantry, we basically only have 1 shock infantry, which is the Panzer Grenadiers in Martyr 2s. We have 10 of them on hardened, and these guys do come with a lot of good stuff though. They have the G3A2, they have the Panzerfaust 3 and the IMG3, so that's a really nice loadout. Panzerfaust, I actually held that thing, it's like heavy as hell. It can wreck mostly, well, probably any tank, even from the front, with that 24 AP. It has a G3 and MG3, both 7.62, so infantry is not a problem at all. And on top of that, it has good stealth, shock training, and 10-man squads. If this was a 15-man squad, that would be so overpowered. But we don't use the term overpowered, we just use the term very good. Then, to basically follow up with the shock infantry, I have Jaegers. And I put these guys in normal Fuchs. I don't really like, the point for reserve or just backup infantry is for it to be cheap, so I can basically blob up everywhere. So I just went for 19 Jaegers in normal Fuchs. The TP is at Fuchs, or Fuchs, it is Fuchs. But yeah, 19 guys, regular training, just a normal infantry squad. They do have the MG3 and a G3, the same G3 as the Panzer Grenadiers, but with slightly less accuracy and rate of fire, maybe because of the training. And they have the Panzerfaust 44, pretty good RPG, not the best, but it can deal some good damage. And they have the MG3, which just wrecks everything. So, pretty good combination. Fallschirmjägers, like 2 of them in a big town. Some Panzergrenadiers, like 3 of them in a big town, and like 4 Jaegers in a big town, and you're basically done. Then, as for manpads, we have 7 trained Fliegerfaust 2. I didn't go for 5 because that's just... 5 is not enough if you're playing... even in a 1v1, 5 might not be enough. So I just went for 7. I mean, they already have 70% accuracy, so why the hell not? Then I went for 7 hardened Parmelan 2s. And both of these guys are in cheap transports. I actually put the Fliegerfaust in Dorniers because I would probably move them up with the Fallschirmjägers, you know, to have the initial hold of a town. If I was to play on a smaller map, that would not really be effective, so I would probably put him in Fuchs. But yeah, that's basically it for the infantry section. If I was going to, you know, if I was going to need some more infantry, if I was going to play on a bigger map like Jungle Law, I would probably remove the Parl Milan 2s and get some more Panzergrenadier 90 in there. Maybe just even basic Panzers. They're also shock training. Only difference is the RPG there, as you can see. But yeah, I would just get him in Martyr 1s or something. I mean, the autocannon of the Martyr is still awesome, so I would probably get those. Actually, how many do we get on these? Yeah. If you go for the Martyr 2, you only get 10 of them in one card, maximum. So I would probably go for Martyr 1A1s or just Martyr 1s. But yeah, that's it for the infantry section. Then we have the support section, which basically only is, well, most of it is AA. We have 8 hardened FRP Rodent 3s, and these guys are amazing as well. They have 65% accuracy on the missiles, 3,500 meters range, and 2,800 meters range on helis, and that's just amazing. I tried to look for something like the something similar to the Mistrals, the Mistral vehicles, but we could not find those, so I just went for a lot of Rodent 3s. But yeah, the only difference basically is the range. Actually, the HE and suppression is also higher. Wow, I did not expect that. Now that I think of it, guys, I'm actually gonna delete one card and get these, because these guys go 150 kilometers per hour on road, and they basically only have like less range. The HE does not really matter that much. 5 HE is more than enough. But yeah, these guys will go 150 kilometers per hour. I'm actually put them on hardened. That's just amazing. So that basically means that if you move up with your airborne troops, you can just really just race towards them with your FRR Roland 2s and basically be there whenever those helis are landing. So in other terms, you don't need AA helis because you will just have these Roland 2s on the ground. So that's amazing. I cannot believe I missed that. So yeah, we have 4 hardened Roland 3s then, and 5 hardened Roland 2s, the fast ones. They go really fast off-road as well, holy crap. Even faster than the tracked ones. It's kind of silly. Then we have 2 long-range artillery pieces, some howitzers, the M109 here with a 150mm or 155mm cannon. Really good range, dispersion and HE power, 4 rounds per minute, so all in all, really good RT unit. Then we have the Mars for cluster, and I always like to have some cluster in my deck. They don't necessarily kill a lot, but you know, they make the enemy move their tanks, move them backwards, or you know, they basically damage the tanks, they do that. But you know, most of the time the enemy micros and they fall back or move towards your tank. So that's basically the good thing about them. They panic the enemy, panic the tanks themselves, or at least make them worried so that they miss most of their shots, and you can just roll up and kill them. But yeah, 2 of those guys on trained hopefully will do a lot of damage. Then we have some Flak Panzer Gepard A2s. These are amazing AA pieces as well. We have 5 of them on trained, and they come with a great autocannon with 2,800 meter range on helis, 26-25 on airplanes, 65% accuracy, and they can also fire on the move and pretty accurate as well, 55% stabilizer. Then on top of that, it has 4 Stinger missiles, which can also fire on the move alongside with the autocannon, so that's just an amazing AA piece. Then we have the tank section. You probably know Vulcan HD Gaming, and he does really like these KPZ-70 Kylers. I don't really use them that much, but when I use them, oh boy do they kill everything. They have a really good main cannon with 15 AP, 50% accuracy, 45% stabilizer, and on top of that, it has max range and 10 rounds per minute. So that's a really good cannon for the tank. Armor is decent, 12 front armor. It will be able to take like 1 or 2 heavy blows, but you know, after that you will just have to fall back. But the main thing about this that really shines is that 20mm cannon. Against infantry and transports up close, it will do a lot of damage. Definitely try this tank out. Then we have something heavier, actually something a lot heavier, the Leo 2A4. This was one of the most heaviest tanks in ALB, and it's still one of the heaviest tanks in this game in my opinion. 19 front armor, 9 side armor, that's just huge. 120mm cannon with max range, 65% accuracy and 19 AP. Basically the equivalent of the Chali 1, but a bit more pricier. I think the Chali is 115 points. Oh yeah. If you want something cheaper than this, I would recommend the Leo 2A1. The only difference between 2A1 and 2A4 is basically 1 more AP and 2 more front armor, as you can see. But yeah, that's basically the only difference. I think everything else is the same. Yep, everything else is exactly the same actually. So I don't know, 16 AP might not be enough against some of the Soviet tanks. Like most of them have like 18 AP cannons, the higher ends that are. But yeah, just 19 AP makes your tank more of a survivor than a, you know, 2-shot destroyer. Suicider, I should say. Then we have the heaviest of them all, the Leo 2A5 with 22 front armor, 23 AP on that 70% accuracy max range cannon. And on top of that, it has a pretty good autonomy, better than the M1A1s or M1A2s even, which run on jet engines and run out of their fuel like in 2 minutes. But yeah, on top of that, it has MG3 like the Leo 2A4. But yeah, if you were going in a tank battle, I would probably move the Leo 2A4s in the front and make them take the blows while the Leo 2A5 basically finishes off the enemy. Then I would just use the KPZ-70 Kylers in the back to try to do some damage with that 15 AP. But yeah, that's basically it for the tank section. Then if we go into the recon section, we have some nice units here. We have the Luke's A1, or is it? Yeah, it's a Luke's A1. Pretty good recon unit, very good optics, 20mm on top, very fast on and off-road, and it's also amphibious. Then we have the Bow 105, basically a gazelle here. Well, it looks like a gazelle. Very good optics as well. The size is very small of this heli. Speed is actually quite fast, 240 kilometers per hour. But the only downside to this is that it has poor stealth and, you know, only 4 strength. So it will go down like after whatever hits it. Then we have some Fern Spear, basically to flank around, look for enemy commands, or only to give recon information. They don't have the best loadout, but if you put these guys in the flanks of a town in a combat situation, they will pick off a lot of units with that sniper rifle. But yeah, if you see a command and you're in range with your RPG, I would not recommend using that. Just get close enough, like 50 meters away from it, and then use that RPG, because it only has 70 or 30% accuracy and 13 AP. But yeah, you can also just take him out with that sniper if it's a UAZ command. That's why you should never get a UAZ command, guys. Come on. Then we have the vehicle section, where I only put 1 unit in, the Weasel 1 TOW 2, basically to support my tanks with that TOW 2 missile. 25 AP on that, really amazing ATGM, and 70% accuracy. If you want something like a cannon, you can go for the Marder VTSI, basically a striker tank destroyer. And yeah, if you want like a cheap, spammy AAPs, go for the Flak Panzer M42A1. This is like made after the Second World War, so it's a pretty old vehicle, but it will do some sort of damage. Then we have the heli section, and to support my airborne rush in the start, I have the Bow 105P with the 4 Stinger missiles. 70% stabilizer and accuracy on those with 5 HE per missile. Very small size heli, so it's hard to hit. Speed is 240 kilometers per hour, pretty fast, only 4 strength, so watch out with these. Then we have the same heli but with ATGMs. It has 6 Hot 2 missiles, and this is basically the same ATGM that you can find on the Tiger. 25 AP on that, 55% accuracy, 45% stabilizer, so it can also fire on the go. Then the plane section, I always like to build this in the following order, like a good ASF, some backup planes, like a seed plane, and then bombers. But in this case, our backup planes only consist out of F4Fs, and those are not the best planes. But I still went for them because they do have that 20mm Vulcan with 4000 RPM. So if the enemy, if I get close enough to the enemy planes with these F4Fs, like 2 of them, they will do a lot of damage with those Vulcans, and you just gotta hope that they hit with that M9F. It just has horrible stats. Sometimes you get lucky, but most of the time they don't hit shit. But yeah, our most elite fighter is the F4F KWS with the Fire and Forget Sidewinders and long range MRAMs. Really good stats on those, as you can see, 50% accuracy and 60% accuracy, 5 HE on the MRAM and 4 on the AIM-9L. So you will have to hit either twice with the MRAM or once with the MRAM and twice with the M9L. So just keep those stats in mind whenever you choose your planes. But it does have 40% ECM, exceptional air detection, 900 km/h speed, and 10 strength, and on top of that a 20mm Vulcan. So really nice plane for the price, and it will be able to deal a lot of damage. But don't try to get in dogfights, because it only has 300 or 400 meter turn radius, and some elite Soviet planes or Red 4 planes have like 300 turn radius, so just watch out for that. But yeah, then as I said, I have the F4Fs to basically support with the Vulcan. As for ATGM planes, we have the F4F Peace Rhine with 2 of those Mavericks, and on top of that it has the good Sidewinders, the M9Ls, and also the 20mm Vulcan. And which actually makes this plane a bit pricey is the 20% ECM, I think. Otherwise it would probably be like 100 points or something. Then we have the Bomber, the Tornado IDS with 4 500kg bombs, also with 4 Sidewinders, 30% ECM, very good air detection, and it goes really fast, so it can drop his bombs and just get the hell out of there real quick. Then as for our seed plane, we have the Tornado ECR with 4 seed missiles and also 4 Sidewinders. So basically every plane has a Sidewinder here. But yeah, this seed plane is really good, and if you micro it well enough, you can take down like 4 enemy seed or 4 enemy AA pieces. Unless the enemy actually turns them off and micros or sends like ASF planes towards you. But that's basically my deck, guys, and if you like it or if you want to try it out, the code is down in the description. Give me your thoughts, and in the next one I'm gonna probably do USSR motorized, and just go into some more Red 4 decks basically. Actually, I might do Scandinavian armored first and then go into Red 4. But yeah, more deck reviews to come. Hopefully it helps you out a bit, and hopefully you will be successful with this deck on the battlefield. So see you guys in the next one.